got going on over there? Whenever it fills up like that, do a card reset. Just click this back and go back to the parking lot. Alright everybody, welcome to the parking lot. Congratulations, you made it. So I told you I'm taking you guys to weird spots. Those stores come here. So first off, all the communication devices, this is where I start withholding information on purpose. The reason why is because I'm not going to give you questions like what color restores Washington's white horse, like what we did over there. Because the husband was over double her age when they married. It was a creepy age gap then, it's a creepy age gap now. Just put that in the back of the brains. Now, moving on. For where you're standing right now. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. If you've been in town for at least a day, or you live nearby, you've seen the word indigo somewhere, I promise you. That is a plant that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. Some of you are wearing it tonight, because that's how we use it. When she got her seeds, she didn't know what to do with it. She had to learn from her servant. So again, if you get a full line, you can't make anything out of it, just reset it. This little dial down here below the light, we're only going to be using the left dial because there are 3 of them. It runs off of EMF. So the other one is temperature, so if you get a breeze, it'll make it go off, we don't use it. And then the other one is tap. You're wearing a hard heel, so every time you step, it's going to make it go off. So we're only going to use the EMF portion of it. And it's the dial below is the sensitivity. So sensitivity, I turn it way back, so you make about a quarter turn when you're over there because of the electrical poles. We don't want too many false positives. But when we're in a space like this, you're automatically going to crank it all the way up. In between spaces, because of the parking meters will make it go off, just turn it back about. I don't always like come back to you and follow up because I want to see it on the YouTube channel, like nice and big. Those screens are too damn small to see things in real time.
Yeah.
You know Ben?
Double N Ben. I don't know Ben, but I'm going to write it down for sure because it spelled something out. So if it spells anything out, I research it.
Yeah.
Just because again, I don't find it coincidental. And we had the word battlefield and a 7.1. Yeah, welcome to my world. This is how, I think this was her idea, Max, to come out
We
here?
both agreed to do it.
Okay.
We both like ghost stuff, you know. We've had our own.
Okay.
Could almost be Bennett. Or Benet. Writing in the dark is on my resume these days. So, I do this every night, so it's a matter of... but yeah, with this camera, I can't wait to see the footage from that light, just because the other one, it only had 20 in it. That one has 49, plus the 4 on the front. So kind of toyed with it at home during the daytime just to kind of see how bright it was going to be. Like I'm looking in closets and like, there's no light flare, yay! So like that was the whole purpose of it. So
the one thing that does, I've noticed it on this, is the people with their phones are in their pockets, facing out, and that because the iPhone it goes off every like 15 seconds with that little IR camera that takes a picture of your face every 15 seconds. That you can see it in their pockets when they're walking around sometimes. So
the other thing too is Isabelle, the girl with the IR
big one. That one goes off too.
Right. So don't face her directly because it'll give us the flashes. So kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't know if she's. I'm kind of trying to avoid those cars and
and
stuff like that. It's kind of hard to.
It is difficult.
Oh, this spike is right here, almost red.
But I figured this one, he was actually asking for EMF. This device doesn't always give us words every single night. So let me give him a picture here. Oh, you got a spot. Let's see. Let me know if it goes all the way to that max and see what everybody else has got going on.
It went to that guy.
The orange?
No, yeah, that's yours.
The orange. Let's walk over to the garbage can and see if any homeless people died over here. Kind of am load. I was hoping we'd go inside buildings, because...
We're not done.
Oh?
We're not done.
What?
We're not done.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, being out here with all the EMF readers, like, all these telephone poles that are, like, literally encasing us, it's just, like, you know...
You put this with possibility going off.
I don't think that one's that sensitive. You know what I mean? Like, huh?
Hers one.
Hers, well, I mean...
Hers is stronger than mine.
I guess. I don't know. I just feel like there's I'm not doubting it, I'm just saying... I want to go to, like, Boone Hall Plantation and do this. Out in the middle of the woods.
So cool. Well,
some of the slaves that got run down by dogs and killed.
Yeah.
All them hot in that ground and stuff.
That's my name.
Okay, Sam. Well, walk back in front of this. Walk across. No, come a little closer. And then walk, yeah. There's a weird reflection when somebody walks in front of it at a certain angle. Like, maybe.
He wants it above. It's almost right. Got an orange.
But when someone walks a certain direction and they're close enough, is it going off? Are you going to ask the Ouija board a question?
That's weird. It was supposed to give me a little thing, but it didn't. It makes that noise, it gives me a letter. It didn't. Anybody here? Hello? Hello? Hello?
But what I was saying is when you walk in front of it at a certain distance, for some reason, like, it puts a white, like, shadow going the opposite direction. It's just, it's bouncing off of your clothes is what it is.
It's the same wahaha.
I was going to go AH after that. Goes kissing us. What is it?
Wow.
What was that girl's name? What?
I don't remember.
Elizabeth something. What?
I don't remember.
Elizabeth Hay something.
One in the corner?
That one?
That one?
Yeah. Very bright for my camera over here, which is fine though. Good. You're like trying to poke. You're like poking, trying to poke a ghost.
Like this, it's like.
Did it really? Oh, I'd be like, yeah, you are. It knows. Oh, that's why these keep turning on. Their motion sensors. I've been wondering why they keep turning on like that.
Anything crazy coming on this view? No other readings higher than that point? Okay. No other anomalies that you can see?
I thought I did, but it's just the IR that's reflecting off of clothes and going the opposite direction. But if someone walks in front of you, I don't know if you've seen that before or not. But
yeah, it'll definitely reflect pretty bright.
And I was like, oh, look at that. And then I was like, oh, that's
I've had
definitely
other pieces that I can't, like, it's weird shapes that I'm like, that's not an insect. There's no wing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that is. Like, I have other pieces, but they're not people.
Yeah.
Or insects that got super close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look at this shit every day.
Yeah.
So, again, I got weird stuff. I just don't know what it means. So, numbers, anything?
20.1.
Getting there. Matches what you've had.
Yeah. Weird.
You're so excited. I love it.
Yes.
I love it so much. I love seeing that smile on your face. I do. I want to put that smile on your face for the rest of your life.
Closer. Not that off. That would help on us. At all. It's been just green. But middle. It went up this one.
Spooky.
I'm just saying.
I'm agreeing with you, Jesus. You know I'm not a skeptic. I believe in them. I just don't. I haven't in a long time felt something that's strong again, you know? Not since I moved out of my house.
Alright, everybody, let's go to the back. So, your baseline in here for EMF readers is going to be a 7. We have a lot of lamppost near us, and we're in a tight space. So, try to keep that in mind. Next spirit box. Yeah, is there anything?
Integral or inter something, and then we question it. It's like, who says? I'm like, okay.
A little too vague for my
Yeah,
choice.
that's the only thing that words we could get.
Let's give me the last 3 or 4 terms you've had.
Constantly military student next.
Okay. Next spirit box. What do we got going on? Oh, who's got it now? You guys keep switching it up on me.
This one?
Yeah, that's a spirit box. Did you hear anything along the way?
Honestly, no. I just keep hearing a bunch of love songs.
You gotta tell me what those love songs are singing.
I can't hear them. Like, it
Then how do you
doesn't
know
say
the
anything.
songs?
Because I can hear the tune. I can tell.
She's got the
It's like
mood
a lot
down.
of R&B. Yes. It plays Lover.
Okay. We heard love of it.
I heard a lot of like songs that just said love.
Lots of love going on, huh?
Yeah. And then while we were leaving down there, it said please go away.
Alright, so, again, sometimes we get clues to our next location, which is where we are. Video cameras, by all means, get those things up and running. In the event another tour is going to come through here, they're going to come out of the ivy wall, or they'll come in the way we did. So that way that's why we keep the belly shot, so that way we're not filming them directly. And again, you want to try to get, the length of the alley in one way, shape, or form, because that's what I'm looking for when I go through your data. So again, we're going to have, especially with this one over here, it's going to give us the purple stick figures on all the way across, so we don't always need that. We just want to point it almost like straight down the alley. You have a perfect vantage point. When just even people walking through here, we just kind of split the seas and let them pass through. I'll stop talking. Every ghost tour comes down here, just so you know. And I don't time this to where we have the whole place to ourselves, but we don't have the whole place to ourselves. We only have half the alley. So here's how this goes. This is, by the way, the one I'm taking out this year because everybody comes down here, and it is a very cliche, very tropey type of ghost story. But I'm going to give you some more details based on what some of the other ghost tours give, because you're not on a campfire marshmallow kind of ghost tour, right? You're ghost hunting. You need those details. Here's how it goes. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. Now, for those of you that are listening to your spirit boxes, like half with that and half listening to me, if you guys hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it's not coincidence. We get it down here all the time because it's part of the doctor's name, Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. So kind of keep that in mind. He moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda, which could be where we're getting all of the love terms. So with yours, it's going to have to go pretty high for me to be convinced. So, but Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of the cash flow that she just received, and the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. Dr. Ladd moves to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. On his way into town, the coachman that brought him in set him up to be robbed and killed. It's kind of like having a really bad Uber driver, right? So somebody was walking by and seeing everything that was about to happen, and his name was Ralph Isaacs. I'm going to stop on Ralph for a second because, again, you're ghost hunting. Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from. So Mary is going to be looking for the initials R.I., and hopefully we get a secondary clue as to who it belongs to. What you got?
I heard
Riot. Got it. I mean, I can kind of see where that connection would be. Like, I like to be a little bit more specific, though. So we're going to call that a close but no cigar. I like specific letters. Now, we were getting the letters R.I. all the time, just like Susan's device, but that's why I have the device that Mary's holding. I wanted to make sure we had the concrete letters to make sure it was legit. So, R.I., again, let's see how it goes. But Ralph, let's get back to him. He tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy, your coachman. He's going to try to kill you. He's got a gunman inside. Come with me. We're going to go to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from those friends of mine, and they'll help you out, and you'll have a safe place to go. Doctor took him up on the offer. The two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. She gets wind of this, and she's moving down soon, so that way they can get married. And Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. What I will tell you is that every haunted city you're ever going to go to in the future is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. Ours just happens to be a doctor. It's part of the reason why I'm taking this story out of my route. Anyway, back to Dr. Ladd. He and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So, they go see Richard III one night from Shakespeare, and on the way home, they're arguing over the new actress. The doctor thought she was great, but Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée back home in Rhode Island. Kind of an ugly mess. They go their separate ways. I told you Ralph has friends around town, so he goes to the newspaper and puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit, right? Doctor saw this ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. That's where you're at right now. So, this place is called Philadelphia Alley now, but was once known as Dueler's Alley. So they came down here, and they took their 10 paces. And by the way, this whole argument started over in Actress. They turn towards each other, and the doctor points his gun in the air, and he shoots. He did not want to kill his friend in the duel. He just wanted to have the courage to show up to the fight, which is often what happened at a duel back in those days. Ralph has his one bullet. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The doctor didn't die, but he fell to the ground, and Ralph proved his point that he's still pissed off. So, his friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later, on November 2nd of 1786. So, depending on which version of the story you read, either yesterday or tonight is the anniversary of that duel. So, I'm hoping that we're going to actually capture quite a bit here. That's where the raised emotion is. I love dates because that's when things normally occur for me. However, every ghost tour that comes down here tells their guest, normally 20 people, to listen for the whistles. We have 3 video cameras running plus my voice recorder. If we're going to capture a whistle, it's going to be on one of those. Not to say it won't come up on a spirit box with the whistling part of a song and the word doctor from a commercial immediately after it. I do not find that coincidental because I've gotten it dozens of times. Been coming here for 4 years. So it does occur all the time. We've gotten other clues around him, like 59, Amanda, fiance. You get the point. So, oh, by the way, the doctor refused medical treatment during those 10 days that he was, back at his, house at 59 Church Street because, first off, it's 1786 when he died. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then, and he's a doctor, which means he probably just thought he had lead poisoning and probably just tried to bleed it out himself. But he failed, because he died. So, he was 22 years old. I know we had the number 33 that popped up. I was like, oh, we still have double digits. Kind of an odd thing, but just kind of a weird thing. His birthday shows up all the time, too. I'm not going to tell you what that is in the event that it shows up at the next location. But if you're going to try this on your own and walk all the way through the alley with your voice recorders from your phones, just keep in mind every local knows the story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down the alley. I do it every morning. So my office is over here, my parking garage is over there. I have to pass the alley about 4 o'clock every morning, and I always throw a whistle down here, especially since the day I got thrown out of here. Let's talk about that. That sounds like fun, right? So, the alley, this was kind of show you guys how I do all my research too. So this alley didn't always go all the way through that way, the way we came in. There was a wall up there, about halfway between, about where Desmond was sitting on those steps. This used to be called Cow Alley. This is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So imagine a bunch of cows and chickens down here. However, the bricks down the other side are older than the ones we're standing on. So those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. Which means there's a full handprint from the slave child down there and fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my groups all the way through down there simply to show the history. It wasn't anything paranormal. What do you got? Muddy. It wasn't anything paranormal. It was just to show how far we've come away from slavery. They treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find it. We're going to let these groups profess it. How you doing, guys?
Pretty good.
How's it going? You good?
There's a whistle.
It was his phone. That's a good call, though. I was going to say the same thing. We keep stealing my thunder.
Oh my god.
Overwhelming.
He's so funny, though.
November 26th of 2020, I took my entire group down there. It's when I first kind of started doing this. And I didn't really know all the boundaries for where tours were allowed to go. And I was showing off that brick, and I told them we just gotta move along. Everybody wants to wait around that brick and wait for something to happen with their devices. I know that kid's not there. Again, he's not staring at that brick in the afterlife. He said he's with his mama somewhere. So I'm trying to shoot him along because it's outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. So The new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at, and she thought it was hysterical. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't turn on Thanksgiving simply because I work for the largest retailer, and again, you guys get the point where I don't like to break up fights over towels. So I don't do Thanksgiving anymore, ever, even with my own business. So the next day was November 28th. I called my partner that I had at the time, and I told him what happened, and he laughed hysterically too, just like my daughter did. And he said, "You're only allowed to go down halfway, dude. That's the cutoff line for tours because it's residential past that." So I said, "What do I do now?" He's like, "You got to reroute your group." So I was like, "Oh shit!" The rest of my route was that way. So I told my group that night, "It's Black Friday. I'm sold out again." So I got to tell them we're going to reroute, but I've never had anything happen at the next location. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. We're going to be discussing pirates next, in case you haven't caught on to that. Before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So I was like, "Oh shit, maybe we're going to get something." We get up and around the corner, somebody else with a spirit box, he was the number 300. I don't know what that one means. I write it down. I'm doing the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. So we were there on the exact 300 year anniversary of her pirate trial. So you guys are like, I see a lot of like, "Holy shit, that's cool stuff." I was pissed. Let me tell you why. I have a master's degree in creative writing. So even when I'm writing fiction, I like facts and data to be able to prove things and, you know, make a story out of things. When I'm doing this, it has to be facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore, which were written 100 years after the alleged occurrences. So it's very difficult to piece these things together. However, what we're about to discuss at the next location came from a minimum of 2 resources for every line I'm going to give you. It is a lot of fun. It's a crazy story, and it's a big roll of the dice if she's even going to be there, which is why I like to bleed over from this location, because we're going directly across the street from that, you know, the courtyard that you see. So again, it's a weird thing. Before we leave this gate, I like to point this out too, because not all the tours talk about this. I don't think anybody knows what the hell this gate is. Remember I told you the alley didn't go all the way through this way? If there was a loser to the duel down here, this was a shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. Otherwise, they had to carry the dead body all the way down the Queen Street and then double back to get up to the cemetery. So I call this the death gate, even though the gate itself probably wasn't put there. Definitely see that the archway is part of the original wall. So very interesting little tidbit of history of why I like to stop exactly right here. Not to mention, we're in the shade. It's kind of creepy and dark, right? So anything crazy that you guys may have heard or any numbers I need to know about before we leave this space?
Well, when Ralph was from Rhode Island.
No. The doctor was from Rhode Island.
Back then, would they would have called him a Yank? That term been used?
Yank didn't come about until...
I don't think so. I mean, it's 17.
Yeah, it was...
You were talking about
you said Yank, really? I'll dive in.
I did too. And Brian did. We were talking about the story.
Well, Ralph wasn't directly from here either. So, I want to say he was from Connecticut. But I'll definitely look up the history of Yankee to see how far back that actually goes.
And was there an altar?
No, but how's it spelled? Like A-L-T-A-R? T-E-R. T-E-R. So we're going to alter clothing, not a church altar. Church altar would be A-R. Okay. So, I'm going to put an X on that one. If it was A-R, we're right next to St. Philip's. We do get a lot of religious terms while we're here. So it does happen, and we're going to be across the street from it when we even go around it, because we're basically making a U right around it. So I don't normally point that out until you guys start hearing religious terms, because you guys didn't tell me any of it. Somebody heard Christian or Christianity or something, I think.
Over together.
Yeah. But again, I would say Eliza was a religious person, but I'm more interested in the writing and the words that was heard and those kind of things. We didn't have a lot of religious framing come up. All right, let's go learn about some rated R pirates. Video cameras, if you want to... So what do you think? Is this what you two signed up for?
Oh yeah, yeah. Better that we were looking for something that wasn't just stories. Like, look at this place that's haunted.
See me, will protect you.
So that's almost like a message directly to me from Dr. Ladd, right?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what's in my ear. We all need to come back. Yeah, make sure November.
I have a big tour in November for it, so it's almost sold out. I like it. All right, Brenda, what do we got on yours?
Human, truth, opinion. Like Alyssa is the other one I couldn't quite make out.
I don't think the pirates like your opinion of their stories being...
Well, it's funny because it was truth, and then a little bit later it was opinion. It's like, and they were both really clear, and same with human was very clear.
Yeah.
There was a
I heard the word broken here. November 4th. When this is after that?
Will protect you. What was the other one I said? It was another three. Yeah. It was.
You'll see me. Yeah.
There's almost a problem based on where we came from, just because in November, like I said, after Halloween, is when I start to investigate the new space for the following year. So November 4th, I'm going to have to make sure that I don't cut out Philadelphia Alley. So it's a big night, so I probably won't. I usually start looking into the new space when I have much smaller groups, like under 4. It's just much easier to be able to do it that way. So, anybody else hear anything? What's going on with the word list?
Horrible.
We had another word still. Any other spirit box words? I know you three ladies that keep moving. 98. 98. Yeah. Oh, yes. Actually, 98 is relative. Right down there. So, any words being spelled out for your end that you can make out? You got to see though. Why it's going so fast? 98. I like it. All right. Sorry. This is me thinking out loud, everybody. Like, I'm crazy. You guys gotta, like, you signed up with the weirdo in town. So, by the way, if you're wondering where all the other weirdos are in town, look around. You're them. Exactly. So when we have, like, on a Saturday night and it's, like, super busy down here, you guys all get looked at weird because you have blinky lights, you got cameras running around town, and all the other tours are like, what the hell did we sign up for? In the last location, like, I take off the backpack, and it says paranormal investigator on the back, and I do that on purpose because all the other tours can see, like, what we're doing, because the next stop is a lot different than what we're doing now. So let me explain that before we get into the history while we're here, because we will be able to spread out. We're going to be doing the Estes method at the next location. What is the Estes method? Anybody here unfamiliar with that? Okay, so we have one person that knows what it is? Perfect. Let me explain. So I'm going to take one person with a spirit box, I'm going to blindfold them. And I'm going to put noise-canceling headphones over top of their ears with the spirit box earbuds in. And I'm going to talk to them as if they were our ghosts, and they're not going to know the history of the space. Like, some of you are looking at me like, okay, what the hell is that all about? So it's basically like they're going to be channeling and being able to talk to me as if they were the ghost that I'm trying to hunt down. There's a secondary part. A secondary person is going to be sitting next to them wearing a VR helmet. And they're going to have my phone in that helmet that's going to basically create AI imagery out of the magnetism around that area. These are images that have never been seen before. I've been doing that VR piece for probably, we'll just say 4 months at this point. I've yet to see the same image twice. What happens here is when I have somebody that's blindfolded, sometimes it looks like a conversation going on, and then the other person has got complementary images to kind of like supplement what is being said. Those two people will not know the history at all, so I take the other 9 of you, teach you the 5-minute history, and then we go back and we talk to those folks as if they were the ghost. So, now that you know what we're going to be doing at the next location, I haven't chosen anybody yet, so if anybody wants to volunteer themselves when I'm doing my round robins, feel free to let me know. She doesn't have a spirit box is the problem. I try to like make sure it's a person that's been using it for the past 2 hours, so that way their ears are a little bit more trained. I usually pick a person from 2 different groups, but if you're both volunteering,
I love it.
you guys all good with that?
Yeah, of course.
Boyle.
She's definitely good at picking up. Yeah, you pick up.
Did it over a Okay, so I'll be right down. Alright, so let's talk about why we're here. Sorry, I think we talk a lot.
Anything to do with Mexican?
Yes, a lot.
Here we go.
We're on point. We're on point. This is actually a pretty decent word list.
Right when you said that, I got it down.
Is there a way of boil him?
Well, boil, and then when she said next, I got it in.
Translation.
Translate Mexican.
Well, actually,
Yeah, a long time since I've had to do that. Wow.
Spanish,
I love how dedicated Susan is. Like, she is so laser focused. So like she's got her head down, and I can't tell if like she's listening to me at all, because she's like, all right, I'm gonna hear something. So you said Mexican. I hear hat dance. I
want to miss it.
Well, I think you have the one that's recording, right?
I don't know. Is it?
Do you have a red handle, like a red strap?
Yes.
Yes. Then you're recording. Okay. So even if you do miss it, you're gonna get the recording back. Okay. So again, have some fun. Play that. Give me a hard time. The little building up there, those are not crosses on that building. Those are earthquake bolts. If you don't know what those are, they're basically turnbuckles. If you have another earthquake like what we did in 1886, you can turn those turnbuckles opposite ends, and it'll tighten up the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea. It just doesn't work.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's bullshit. So the reason I bring those, oh, by the way, you guys have seen them all over town in Charleston, term bullshit, lion heads, pineapples, all kinds of craziness. Even the apartment building behind it, the brick building, has them on every single floor. So the reason I bring up those big giant cross ones is because that's the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. Reason why is because that's part of the reason why we're here. That's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. Now, we are here simply because Anne Bonny, our ghost, came here around the same time that this building was being constructed. This is what I call a familiar. So you guys that watch the TV shows, you've all seen the Boo Buddy. Basically has Mary's EMF meter in there, so when a child comes nearby, it looks like the whole teddy bear lights up. They do that because the child would recognize it as a toy. Same principle here. We don't have many buildings this old, especially from Anne Bonny's time era, so that's why we're here. So it's a big roll of the dice that she's going to be here because she is said to be seen all over town with those other buildings. So we're at one of them. We're going to see how this goes. Here's the history. The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years? No, not at all. I'll answer for you. I know, right? So our history begins right in the middle of its construction. Try to follow me here because there's a lot of twists. I will slow down on the twist to make sure everybody grabs them. 1708, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She comes here with her father and the father's mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far? Okay, I don't see any head spin. That's good. So the three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How mad was the wife that she kicked their asses out of the damn country in 1708? There's no planes. They came over here by boat. So normally there's a bunch of gents here. I say, Max, be good to your lady because she'll kick you all the way up to Canada. Again, and we have airplanes. Much easier trek. But anyway, Dad, they landed in Georgetown. That's about an hour and a half north of here, up in between us and Myrtle Beach. So that gives you an idea. Dad bought a plantation, but Mom died pretty quickly after landing. So Dad is now sending young Anne down here to Charlestown to sell things from that plantation to keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. That's why we're here. Back home in Ireland, Anne was a badass even back then. They say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly when Anne was only 7, 8, or 9 years old. So I just like to give you guys the mentality of this young lady as we kind of go through her story.
She's a control freak. She's a control.
She's more of a freedom fighter.
I feel like
First they said,
pirates are not about control.
I heard fishing boats. And then
Fishing boats. We do get a lot of aquatic terms here. I think Melissa wants to be in control of the history now.
No.
So, fast forward, the building's done in 1713, but by 1715, pirates are starting to come through town, and Anne is pretty stoked. Why? She's going to fall in love with one of these guys so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's the 1700s, guys, so you guys get the point. So the first guy she falls in love with, and yes, I said first, there's a handful of these guys, and we're going to go through them all. That's what makes the story so damn interesting. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, because I've already mentioned her pirate name. Dad didn't approve, so they ran away to Jamaica. They got married, and Anne Cormac became Anne Bonny. That's where the pirate name comes from. However, when she gets down here, she realizes her new husband is not the Captain Jack Sparrow that she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. He's a coward in her eyes. This isn't who she wants. She falls in love again. Guy number 2. This is John Rackham. Everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who we're discussing. Calico Jack has his own ship, bless you, and he has his own crew. Anne wants to be part of that crew. You cannot put a female on a pirate crew. Does anybody know why?
Bad luck to have a woman on board.
Keeping it family friendly. I see a lot of wheels spinning sometimes, and I'm like, okay, do I throw this question out tonight? Just depends on my group. Good job, appreciate that. But anyway, so he makes a deal with her. If you're dressed like a guy, you can be part of the crew, but you're going to be a lady in my quarters. She's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world, like I said. So let's put 2 and 2 together. She's a female, a lady, in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out, right? So before she starts the show, Jack decides to drop her off in Cuba. Go have the baby here with some friends of mine. They'll help you out. Come back later, and we'll figure it out together. She goes and has the baby, but returns without a child. We have no idea what happened to the baby. None of the tons of books that I had to read about damn pirates, again, I'm not a pirate person, but have become one over the past couple of years, have ever told me what happened to that baby. She comes back dressed as a female as well. This makes Jack pretty pissed off. To make him even more angry, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew that he just captured. They're down below deck. We're on guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy, to be part of the crew that Calico Jack just captured. So now we have 2 females, dressed like males, on the same ship. Her name, Mary Read. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. So we do get Mary and Mark that will show up on your spirit boxes. Her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know for sure because they are. They send a whole fleet of ships to come take down one pirate ship. Anne and Mary, rumor is, they were the only two pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with one bullet flintlocks. They haven't been pirates for very long and don't know how to use the cannons. So, two ladies with one bullet guns are not going to take on a whole fleet of ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, she looks at her captain, her beau, Calico Jack, and she says, "I'm so sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up a lot, just so you know. The judge wants to see the two quote-unquote men that fought back so violently. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunken pirates that wouldn't fight. They're dead and gone. So, the two ladies go in front. They reveal their gender. The judge does not give a shit that they are female. They are still pirates. He's still going to hang them. So, they scream out, "We plead our bellies," which means they're claiming to be pregnant. You cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4. Because we're going to count Mary. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. And yes, she was born in 1698. So, we did get the number 98 earlier. That's where I got excited. I had to stop and think about her birth year for a second.
In January?
No.
January came up.
I'll dive into that. I don't know what that one means. I love when specific months come up. So here's what I left out. I'm not going to assign questions here. You guys know what you're doing as far as asking questions. And this is not the prominent English woman that we were discussing earlier. Kick Anne in the shins to get your answers. Like, I'm good with that. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents on purpose. So I know what those are. So you guys can ask what those ones are specifically. You can ask the name of Calico Jack's ship. So I didn't tell you what that was on purpose, so you'd have something to work with. And the city where she grew up in Ireland, or the color of her hair. Everything else is fair game. If you want to ask her questions, just make sure it's not yes/no questions. That's the only thing I ask at this location. Have some fun, get some direct answers, and I'm going to ready you guys out. Let's do it. What should we get? Oh, more baselines in the United States.
Old building.
Hurt in the back.
Why?
Because when he started talking about her, my back. Right here. It's good now.
I don't know about that.
Mm.
I know. I feel like she wouldn't be. Like, that kind of stuff is like, I don't know. That's demon behavior. I don't think that a pirate is going to be a demon. You know.
But I'm saying like whispering. Like start whispering.
Maybe so. You can ask him, or you can ask the box. Are you hurt?
Yeah.
Are you what?
Hurt.
Oh, yeah, but specifically in the. What'd you say?
It's at a 2.5. It's at a 3.9 now.
Bella.
You are directly under the telephone pole. I see the EMF reader. About this thing. Give me a sign and do something. Shit on my dick. Does this thing record audio? I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
He's gonna review this footage. He's gonna be like, I'm never having these people on my door again.
Yeah, change it.
So bad.
How close to the corner? Where the electrical pole is?
Yeah.
Now
in here the other day, and then I realized that they had their cell phone out right next to it. And sorry, good on.
Hey, does this one record audio?
Yes.
Okay. You should avoid.
I don't listen to the audio anyway.
Okay.
They're all going to hear your audio. Why? What kind of dirty talk we got going on?
You said a bad word.
I said multiple bad words.
It's pirates.
Exactly. I was trying to agitate,
I
you
don't
know, get a response.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as you don't have any nasty talk on there, like between the two of you.
No. I mean, it's not between us. I was just like, it's just vulgar words.
And I didn't ask the relationship. I assumed you guys were a couple.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Well, I've done that one night where I'm like, I made a joke where I'm like, hey, dude, is it okay if I blindfold your wife? Like, for the next thing? And he's like, that's my sister, and I don't give a shit. I'm like, oh, man, foot in mouth. It was, yeah. So I don't always ask what the relationship is, but I figure you're both very well dressed, you know, both very clean cut, and, you know, that kind of thing. I was like, no, they're probably a couple. So, again, I didn't see any hand-holding. I didn't see any smooching. I'm like, oh, shit, I better ask.
You know, try not to make everyone else feel uncomfortable.
Me and my wife are like, whatever.
Well,
but we've been married for a while, so we don't care.
Exactly.
Anything crazy going on?
Nothing yet.
No, nothing here.
Yeah, definitely crank up your sensitivity here, but that EMF reader, again, I'm excited about everything here, except for what's going on in the corners.
Yeah.
Like, so a 2.5 on the digital meters, like, that's exciting at this location. This is not the Pinckney Mansion site.
Yeah.
So, again, I forgot to tell all EMF readers, like, hey, if you get anything, just let me know. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So,
out of curiosity, are there do you do any different type of tours, or is this the only tour that you do?
what are you asking about?
Just like anything more like are there places you can go like the plantations around here? Are there any tours like that, or old buildings?
So the only other thing that I do, because I am not, how do I put this? I don't overly advertise because what I do out here is not very welcome. So I kind of keep just underneath the radar. I can still make a living and take you guys out. So I don't poke and prod about like going inside certain spaces. Even when I do investigate these other spaces, like if I'm going to a museum or a plantation, I'm just running the gear and it's all hidden. Like nobody knows what the fuck I'm doing. So again, do I do another tour? It's just a more intense ITC and Spirit Box tour. I call it boot camp. It's the same spaces, but we literally quicken up the Spirit Box with every new location, and then we basically let everybody go through the blindfold test at the last stop. Yeah. So it's a lot more expensive, obviously, but I get a lot of paranormal teams where their lead investigator will call me up and say, I got 4 newbies, they don't know what the hell they're doing, can you take them out? And I'm like, what's a free night? Because again, it's a special request. Yeah, exactly. I'm actually thinking, because the new space this year, I actually had an idea that I might turn it into a tour by itself, just because it's a murder mystery. So I thought, all the paranormal equipment, it's never been solved. You know, I do have the list of all of the places where this person is affiliated with, even though I don't have access to where she was murdered exactly. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe he'll ask about, do I do a murder mystery fun time? And I'm like, yes, I'm thinking about it. But no, as far as going to plantations and doing everything else, like me being a lone wolf out here, I just stay out of everybody's way. Let them do their thing, because I'm the weirdo, like I said. And again, nobody's doing this in the country and
this is
all of the media.
Yeah, this is why we chose this one, because when we were looking it up, you know, we don't want to just walk around and get told stories, because we can watch YouTube videos about that.
Exactly. But with the gear is, and I'm talking to another tour that tries to do something like this. I think he's a little bit more over the top, where he like puts.
I just got the second one.
Second, so like a little 5.
A little 5, yeah. It was close to this, but I know this doesn't put anything off.
You have a battery pack on there. Battery pack should give off a little bit of something.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. Correct.
Sorry, I've been doing this a long time.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm usually the bearer of bad news. When people send me their photos and shit to debunk, I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it. Just send it over. And I'm usually like, yeah, sorry, that's you in the window. You know, taking a damn picture. Yeah. Sorry, it's not a ghost staring at you.
Well, I have one. I'll have to find it. A couple of years ago, me and my mom and we were going on a cruise. So we stayed at the Ansonboro Inn, and I just felt super creeped out in there, and I just sat there with my camera recording, and like there wasn't any dust, no orbs, and then immediately just like went by like fast, very fast, and then I started getting orbs within the corner, and I slowed it down, and like you can see through it. I don't know.
Send them over.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to take a look.
Okay.
So the case I'm working on now, a private case, somebody's home. I don't always do them, but what they sent me was compelling enough for me to say, again, it was just an intelligent orb, but it was 8 minutes long.
Oh.
Like 8 minutes. And it was the security camera that was following the motion.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was good stuff. So I'm going back on November 20th for round 2. And we're going to do like a little seance because I think it's the woman's mother trying to come through. So we're going to go back on her birthday. We're going to do like a little seance with some of the other spirit box that I don't use on the tour. A little bit more intense. So really fun couple. Like they're older, they're retired, they're having a blast. And they come on the tour like twice a year.
Oh, that's
so.
awesome. That's so cool.
Alright, let me follow up with what's going on now.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'll show you the video. I was just sitting there because I was so creeped out because like there's something in the corner watching me. And then where I felt creeped out and there was something over there and something went fast. I had to like slow it down by frame to see what it was because my eye caught it and I was like, what was that? And yeah, and you can see through it. There's a towel hanging on the door. You can see the towel through it. Like it wasn't my hand. It was I don't know what it was.
And give me a sign. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Do something. Are you jealous of how beautiful my girlfriend is?
Oh my god.
Are you proud of yourself? Do you think your legacy is being lived up to? Do something. I know you're good for it. You're a big bad pirate. Let's go. Hunt me.
Say hunt.
Hunt me.
Oh, hunt me. I want to use.
Give me a sign. It's almost 11 o'clock. Okay. We're going to do this and then the last thing. I think it might go till 12. Why? Sure. Why don't you take a look at home? Oh, it's the metal.
Yeah.
The metal resonation. 5. That would be my child. Well, yeah, but if you didn't it say if you miss a day, you just take.
Yeah, but you have to like not.
For how long? A week?
Yeah. I need to look at my specific one.
Yeah, you do. I am not doing a week. Let me see. Get your shit together. You too, Anne. Get your shit together. I haven't seen anything. I want to see stuff. Probably does what?
Goes as well.
I mean, if you take it as soon as we get home, is that bad? 6 hours late. You take it at 6 normally, right? 6 hours late is too much? Shit together, man. I know you did, clearly. Oh, I guess I'm just gonna forget to have 6. And what happened to your first child? Why don't you tell us? Did it die? Did you murder it? Did you do something spooky? Yes. We're under a telephone pole. I don't want to go too close to that. Although this isn't going off.
It's killing me.
Hey, Mary.
Your back is killing you?
Yeah.
It's because you've been standing up for a
Yes.
while.
Can I see your Ouija board?
Telescope.
I'm looking for initials. You almost have 60 left. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
IXTY?
I almost had Deb earlier, but there was X with a few words.
I'm looking for the initials SHH, just like somebody shushing you. So let me know if that pops up.
Okay.
Let me give this another minute. Just
Worry.
Gotta be totally. All right, what do you got now? You look very serious.
No, nothing.
Nothing at all.
There's a Christian radio station. I can get Jesus. 17. Don't tell me the color of her hair. She told me she must have bald. American.
Hey, did Anne have bad back pain?
Well, that would be me. Yeah, it's like my back hurts.
Not that I'm aware of. Why?
My back
Is
hurts.
it worse over here?
Yeah, was any of her husbands American?
From where?
I said any of her husbands American or something? Because I got American.
Well, the one, whoever she married after she came home would have been. All right, let's bring it in. Rose House.
Church Street, Jesus.
Well, we're also near, St. Philip's.
Yeah, that's
This is called the Holy City for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So over at this location,
Rose, so.
but regardless, you had the word
Rose,
rose.
yeah,
We get it here all the time. That's how I'm able to make that quick connection. So I am actually excited about that. We did get the number 7 too. I don't know what that means just yet. So again, that could be July 2nd. It could be 1772. It could be 1872. I have no idea. So again, we're going to see how this goes. A lot of weird things showed up here. Again, this was a 50-50 roll of the dice. It doesn't seem like any of you got the color of her hair. So let me kind of cover the answers here, and then we're going to go blindfold some people, and we're going to see how this goes.
Oh, that's what I meant. No, I was
Grab the tablet real quick. This one's nice and easy. So we got something else on your word list that we thought maybe. We did get like immigrant, like pretty vague stuff, but nothing that was like right on the nose. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on that SHH forming still. I think I asked some of you if you've been shushed on your spirit boxes. I'll explain that in just a moment if I remember the story. It's not always a story to tell, especially when I have a whole team full of women. I hate to say it like that, but now I have to tell the story because it piques everybody's damn curiosity. So let's cover Anne Bonny first, I guess. So this is one of the few pictures you can find of this young lady where she actually has a shirt on. The reason why is she used to bare her breast to show men that they were just filled by a woman. You have to remember that she's wearing male pirate garb. So again, this is why I show this picture, because I do get teenage boys on this tour. I don't need angry moms leaving. The name of her parents, William Cormac, Mary Brennan. This was not another subliminal trick, and even though we have another Mary here tonight, it's beautifully creepy. That's what I like to call it.
Okay.
We're going to mute that spirit box, Brenda. Can we mute that in here? Because we have neighbors nearby. Thanks.
Good. Told you she was jealous.
Susan and Shelly, come on over. Shelly, you're going to hand your EMF reader to Brenda, because she's pretty much out of the game unless she'd like to use it.
I'm right here.
We won't be able to use that spirit box here. Go ahead and have a seat. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to hand you to the equipment that we're going to be using for this, and I'm going to take everybody else over to that monument. What I'm going to ask of you after I hand you the equipment is that you are not going to be putting anything on until we come back, because if I'm blindfolding women in the middle of a dark park, it never looks good if somebody else comes through.
Okay.
Like, what the hell's going on? So, I'm going to give you a few pointers when I come back, so kind of just of what to kind of expect out of this whole ordeal. Is everybody familiar with AI and how it creates imagery? Do I need to do an example, like what that looks like? You guys can do all video. Does anybody not know how that works? Okay, good. So, this is actually going to go over, once we get you blindfolded, I will have another female volunteer put these on you. I will never touch you. Some dude is touching you. And then I'm going to hand you a disposable blindfold. You can keep your own eye boogers and earwax. How about that? I know, right? Souvenirs. Alright, so if you want to try to figure that out while we're gone, it's like an origami project. Good luck. If not, I'll help you when I get back. And if you screw it up, I got more. No worries. So she's like, oh my god, what is happening? There's super glue. You put it right on your eyelids. No, I'm kidding. So let's go learn this history, guys. We're going to make this super quick.
Is Sarah anything important? That came out clear. Sarah?
Sarah.
Sarah Storm.
Sounds like a bad weather girl,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Well, it was this storm, and Sarah came out really clear when walking out. Several people turned around and looked at it.
I don't know, but I'll write it down to see if there is.
Yeah.
So, first time I came here, I've only been coming here for about a year now. I only had 2 people. It was November. Everybody else canceled. It was too cold for them. So we had a spirit box, the word list generator that Melissa's using, and an EMF reader, and a camera. So I just told the young lady, just tell me everything that you hear out of the spirit box, because I don't know what to expect here. Let's just kind of see why all the other ghost tours come here. So what we heard was the name Henry in the year 1828 that came out of a regular spirit box. I had the word Tim on the word list. This is Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So I was like, well, hot damn, there's my ghost. So here's how his story goes. It's very quick, and a couple of things you need to know about him is that he was a writer, and he was sick for most of his life. So, being born in 1828, he's obviously old enough to go fight in the Civil War, so he does, for the Confederate side, because he's from Charleston. His comrades realized he's too sick to fight. Knowing he was a writer, they said, go be the voice of the war. They wanted him to come home and start writing about what was going on the battlefield. So he came home and started writing poetry. So he became known as the laureate of the Confederacy. Got a little bit of fame behind him because he's publishing on a regular basis. A couple of years go by after he starts writing, and he's getting his little bit of fame, and he has a son. His son's name is Willie. He's born on Christmas Eve, but dies 9 months later on October 23rd. Does anybody remember today's date? 24th. So, did not have a tour yesterday. I actually canceled it because I was like, I've been poking the bear at Henry too much. Maybe I should actually cancel. So kind of called my group and moved on to a later date. So it's been very quiet through the month of October because Henry also died in the month of October, and they continued his story. It's been very quiet, to be honest with you. It's obviously a pretty big tragedy that his 9-month-old son died, right? So he's not writing as much and he's not working as much, but he has another writer friend from college that realizes this and says, you know what, go get back on track and you can use my cottage out in the middle of Columbia. So took a ride out there, and that's where he wrote his last words. His last words were, beholder of brief mortality, which basically means dear person with a short life. And then he coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. Now, he died right there on the page. Here's the weird thing. That blood stain looks like a man writing at his desk. We call it the blood book. We go 1 day a year at the Charleston Library Society where his collection is being held, and you have to be a member of that society to be able to go see his particular page. And that's the only day that they show it. Under glass. The internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you the blood book, and then we're going to go talk to Susan as if she were Henry Timrod. When we get over there, we're going to stay pretty close. Like, we're going to make it basically a half moon. We're going to film pretty closely. The best footage we're going to have is going to come out of Max's camera. And hopefully it's going to come up crystal clear. EMF readings we've gotten 3 digits, like triple digit readings at this location, all the way up to 167. This has been the highest during one of these sessions in the past. Let's see. If we do not have answers coming out of Susan, keep in mind that they can come out of the word list, they can come out of the Ouija board. I've had things come up all over the place. So I may ask some questions in real time. So here is that bloodstain. We'll zoom in so you guys can all see it. So it looks like a man writing at his desk. Can you guys all see that down there?
A sickly looking. Creepy. Yeah.
I've actually had AI imagery come up with a toy that looks like a baby in this shape. Like, and I did an opaque overlay and put it over top. Like, I get pretty crafty with your guys' data page coming back to you. So what's the last 2 words that you have on your word list, just so I have an idea?
Commission ago.
Commission ago. Has anybody else heard anything before we get going? You might want to turn down your sensitivity on that guy a little bit. It seems like it's going off like crazy. Are we getting any EMF numbers at all?
No, 0.
0. Anything on yours? Yeah, same thing. Just definitely keep an eye on them, and then as I'm packing things up, I may send the 2 of you on a little walk around the park, just to see if we have anything going on here. Just so I can know, like, if we get something close to one monument versus another one, we may have some of those toys that are, like, I may not understand that are coming out of them. Does that make sense? Yep. Perfect. All right, let's go talk to a ghost. How's your origami coming?
We got it. I figured it out. At least what we did worked anyway.
If you did, you'd be like the first one ever.
Does it go
Look
over
at you,
your
Batman. I love it. You figured it out.
She did. I
Beautiful.
figured it out.
Go ahead and take it.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to give you a few tips and tricks.
Okay.
So can I have a female volunteer that'll be able to put these headphones on her? You got it, Melissa? So once we get there. So we're not there yet. So here's what to expect out of this. So you're literally going to be talking to me, and you're not going to know what I'm saying. So you're literally just going to tell me everything you hear.
Okay.
So I know, it sounds weird, but hopefully this is going to look like a conversation.
So I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
You got it.
Okay.
It can also be yes-no answers. I know I said I don't like to use that, but you have no idea what the hell I'm asking. That's the beauty of this. I might ask our ghost if I'm wearing a black vest. I'm expecting a yes to verify that he's here. So Melissa's nearby, so she'll probably be my person to use. When we're done, she's going to tap you on the leg, just to let you know, like, we're done.
Okay.
If you're talking too loud, she's going to tap you on the shoulder. We do have neighbors right behind us, so I want to make sure you're not going to be shouting, because you're not going to know you're going to have those earbuds. So with yours, it is blindfold, then earbuds, and we want to make sure you're not touching your spirit box at the same time, just so we know you're not cheating. We've had people try to do that before.
How does it cheat if you touch it?
If you turn it down, you can hear what I'm asking.
Oh, gotcha.
I might ask you what color a blue banana is, and
okay.
I do that stuff on purpose if I think people are cheating.
Gotcha.
So, have you ever used VR before?
No.
Ah, beautiful. So I have to set it up completely. That works. You're going to see like a rolling gray smoke cloud, and you are going to be telling me anything that's not gray smoke. Very simple. And it's not going to come like at you in your face. Like, it's not going to be like a 3D image. It is just going to kind of be a 2D image floating in front of that gray smoke. So again, nothing super like ghost coming at you kind of mentality.
I'm not going to go like this.
No, you won't. It's going to be a little weird since this is the first time you're ever doing it. So yeah, you can go ahead and I keep you under for 10 minutes. So, and that's it. Any more than that, it's a little sensory overload. So that's when we tap you out is 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just so you have that idea. But yeah, blindfold first, then your earbuds, and then Melissa will help you with that headset going up with it. Nope, she needs her earbuds
let me
in
get
first.
my earphones in first.
Yeah. You need to hear it first.
Yeah.
Then as soon as you hear something, you can go ahead and start, and I will start the timer.
Okay.
Come on. This takes a second to calibrate. There we go. See how it looks like gray smoke? You're going to see that as one vision when you get this guy over your face. So it'll go all the way over your head, and if it's out of focus, you have a little dial right here. You can just move that however you need to get it.
I was shipped to the Philippines.
Perfect. All right, everybody, let's circle in a little bit tighter.
Hey, there's 2 babies.
Oh, beautiful. We already got an image.
Like,
And I'm going to start off with a very simple question, like what did we just hear out of the church? So can you tell me what we just heard out of the church?
550261.
Henry, can you tell us what we just heard out of the church, please? We're starting off very simple. I don't know who the 2 babies are.
they're gone.
Well, hopefully we get... Henry, Can you please push through and give us a little bit more clarification? I'm going to ask what sound we heard out of the church, or we can go into my normal question of tell us something about your occupation. Can you tell us what you did for a living? Thank you for volunteering. Appreciate that.
Don't we know?
We all know what you did for a living. We need you to tell us so we can verify you're here. Shelly's laser focused, everybody. Don't fall asleep in there. We can't get you out of cyberspace. Henry?
What? I just got a thing, a message.
07.
Something about remind you in an hour. Okay.
I was going to say, normally I make the joke if my wife is sending you dirty pictures, just tell us what you see. So. Henry, can you push through for us?
No way.
Okay, we're going to ask...
Make sure.
Make sure. What? Are you here alone? Did you bring somebody with you? Did you bring somebody with you? Henry, do you want to talk about the war? Tell us what war you served in.
Limited 843.
That's our area code. I throw those away. Henry, do you want to tell us what war you served in? And then wrote about later on? We have the word courage here. It took a lot of courage to get out.
Put your faith.
Weren't we just talking about that, Max?
Mm-hmm.
Took a lot of courage for you to even go out to that battlefield.
Oh, wait. It's going.
What do you got?
No, I can't make it out.
Talk to us, damn it.
It's a baby's hand. It looks like a baby's hand.
Okay.
And it looks like red. Maybe, I don't know if it's blood or...
Henry, talk to us.
I'm proficient electronic evidence. How do we know?
What is that?
It can be weird, isn't it?
I don't know if it's a baby, but it looks like there's blood, like a white outfit and a blood. There's an arm, but it looks like it doesn't have a hand. That is the weirdest thing ever. A lot of blood.
It'll make a whole lot of sense when we pull you out of there. Henry, let's talk about our image that you just showed us.
Go on.
Can you tell us what that is or anything specific about it? I'll take the date of when that occurred.
Around you.
Henry? You know, we don't spend a lot of time doing this. Battle. So you want to go back to the war? You can tell us how you died. I'm okay with that. Obviously, you're looking for the letters TB at that point. Henry, do you want to tell us how you died?
Display.
The book is on display. I like it.
Sample.
Sample of his work.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I know it sounds like a big stretch, but we don't normally get clues this defined from an outside source other than what these two ladies got going. Henry, when does that sample of your work, when is it displayed? What holiday? It should be an easy one for you to grab from all of those communications coming through.
55.
Henry, what holiday is your last page displayed? Anything going on with you?
No evidence.
No evidence. Henry, do you want us to leave? Do you want us to go home? I know this is a very difficult month for you. You passed
The
away.
heartland believeth.
Wow, that's a serious phrase.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you passed away during this month, and yesterday was the anniversary of Willie's death. I know I'm poking the bear out here. This is how we learn.
I just got the chills. Huh? What is that?
I don't know. You tell us.
Key. It's keys. Like
keys.
Old-fashioned keys.
Are you serious? How many keys are in there?
1, 2.
Cool.
I got the chills.
Wow. Okay.
One of them has like a symbol on it. Like a weird looking
Stuff
W.
falling out of trees.
Is there anything like tied to those keys? A leather strap?
No, it didn't look like it.
Notice she was quiet during all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Henry, let's get back to those 2 keys. What's going on there? Are you trying to tell me something that I'm just missing? Henry, are you here with us?
No.
Okay. So what did we just see in the image? Can you tell us what those are? What just came up in the image? It's relevant because this just happened 2 nights ago. Henry, are you still here?
Designed to help market for a new vehicle.
Henry, we're down to about a minute and a half. I've asked you a lot of questions. I'm mainly concerned with these 2 keys. Can you tell me anything I need to know about the 2 keys that we just saw? Of course, I had to explain to all these folks what happened with the 2 keys the other night, but I want to know what I need to know. You're on a roll. You screwed it up, Melissa. Henry, can you say goodnight to us? We're gonna leave you alone. Can you say goodnight? Henry?
Oh, wait, here it comes.
I was waiting for one more image. You guys see how I stretch that out.
It looks like a belt, or it's like 2 round things with a strap and little hooks. Not hooks, like, like a chain? Yeah, a chain connecting them.
Hardship.
Like 2 leather straps, they're round, and then the chain's connecting them. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Hopefully it will when I see it. I'm hoping it still ties in that key thing. This is gonna blow your guys' mind. Like, seriously. I want to see the damn image. Like, I'm curious. Henry, we're gonna say goodnight.
I have to leave.
Okay, that's a good point. Alright, let's get that thing out your face, Shelly. We're all wrapped up there. Both ladies, do not get up. I want to make sure you guys are okay, because this can be a little disorienting. So, she was getting dirty pictures for my wife. And that's where it's all disoriented. Like, oh shit, wasn't expecting that.
And all the
So,
blood was pretty weird.
I want to see these images, because I know you guys do too. So let me bring them up. For those of you with video cameras, by all means, go ahead and get them stopped.